everybody. Oh, I'm sorry, what are you saying? Oh, you mean this? Don't worry about it, I'm just in the middle of re-dyeing my hair. This is not here to stay. I just don't have the time to film a video any other time than right now. So you're stuck with this shitfuckery for this video. Next video, hopefully, I will be splendidly blue again and everything's gonna be fine. Also, sorry for my zitty face, but my adult body doesn't seem to understand we've outgrown our teenage years quite a few years back and decides that I'm gonna be zitty as fuck for no reason. So how are you guys doing today? Tonight it finally snowed and the snow finally stuck. Only to melt. But I managed to go for a walk, so that was nice. I live in the suburbs, you could say, or rather not in the suburbs, but at the very end of the city. So like basically this is the end of the city, and right, like there's an apartment block behind my apartment block, and behind that apartment block it's just the forest and nothing else. So we're allowed to go on walks into the forest. Yeah, it's like a 2-3 minute walk from my place to the forest, so that's nice, but that's not the topic of today. Today we are going, I am going to give you some guys some tips and tricks for baby bats and going into goth. Yes, because like I mentioned many times before, I don't believe in spending a shit ton of money to be goth, and goth isn't supposed to be expensive. Goth is supposed to be an affordable subculture, and all those big companies that make millions and millions of dollars by selling you shit, they're just unfair and evil. I mean, not evil, I don't believe in companies being evil, but it's just unfair when you can do the majority of things by yourself. So just a few tricks and tips and stuff for you now, and at the end I'm gonna show you 2 skirts that I made by myself, and the reason I'm gonna show you that I can quickly explain and try to explain how I made them. However, I've made them years prior, so I won't be showing you how to make them. But the reason I'll be showing you is because I can't sew, and I'm not saying this to be humble and stuff. I really can't sew. Like, my sewing skills are very mediocre. I don't have a sewing machine, so I sewed it all by hand, so whatever, with a needle and some thread. So the reason I'm going to show those skirts to you is so you can understand that if I can make something like that, so can you. So the first tip I have, trick, which I feel if you hear this is going to make your life much more easier while being goth. The cool thing about being goth, or looking different or weird in general, in anyone's opinion, is that people get used to you looking different and weird, which means that no matter how bad you look at any given day, no one's gonna give a shit, because they're all used to you looking different and weird. At least that's how my life looks like. I can put the worst outfit together, I can look like shit, and yet no one will bat an eyelid, an eyelash, whatever, because they're all used to me looking like a freak in their opinion, even though I feel like I look pretty mild for a goth person anyway. But I know maybe this is just me. I always look in the mirror and I'm like, oh, I'm not goth enough today. Just kidding. I mean, not kidding, but whatever. So that's something that I feel will make your life much easier, to just not stress about it. I mean, generally, just don't care, because I don't feel like you can be goth and care about how others view you, because you're not gonna have a nice time. You're not. I'm gonna say this straight up. You're not gonna have a nice time if you keep on caring what other people think about you. You're not. So if you stop caring and you realize that after some time of looking weird and different, people get used to it and they really stop caring and they don't really look at you that much, even if you have a worse head day or clothing or anything, no one's gonna care. No one, trust me. I've been doing this shit for like 10 or 12 years now. No one gives a flying fuck. The next tip is something very easy and kind of stupid, but I find that it makes my life very much easier. So today I have on one of the few pairs of earrings that are actually still a pair. However, the majority of my earrings have been lost because I am a klutz and I lose things, unfortunately. One of the earrings that I'm talking about is this one, which is pretty gorgeous in my opinion. I really like it. I really like chunky shit and stuff. However, I've lost the second earring 4 years ago now. But instead of throwing it away or not wearing it, I wear this on one ear, and in the other ear I just put a small earring. So for instance, I'll wear it across with this earring, so I have this little cross, and I'll wear it like this. I don't know, it looks cool in my personal opinion. It means that I don't have to throw away or discard the one earring that I still have out of the pair. It means I can still use it, and as I mentioned, at this point people are so used to me looking different and weird that no one cares. No one cares, it's just my kind of style, so that's what I do if I lose an earring. Instead of discarding it, I just take a smaller earring, like a much smaller one, put in the other ear. Usually it's something that looks at least a little bit similar, so if I have a big cross, I'll put a smaller cross across, stuff like that. The next tip is something rather similar, because just as I lose earrings, I also lose the necklace thingies. So I don't lose the pendant itself, so for instance I have this very nice pendant here. I really love those, they're beautiful. But I will lose the string chain thing, whatever it's called. So what I have done, for instance, that I find works very well for me, is I use them as chokers. And it's very easy. So for instance, here's a choker that I made. Here's another pendant that I've lost the chain to. Sometimes I even just don't bother wearing a chain because things just look better without the chain. And so what I did, I took some fishnet. I live right next to a cloth store, and the cloth really isn't that expensive. Like for a piece of material like this, it's like, I don't know, 20 pence? I don't know, it's really very, very cheap and affordable. And all I do is I take the pendant and knit it through the material. And you can do it with anything. So I think I have a ribbon somewhere. So this one I need to knit it through a fishnet kind of material. And this one is long enough that I don't need a pin or anything to pin it behind. I just put it on and I tie it together. And I have a neat, cute little choker like this. But you can use any sort of material. So for instance, when I have this pendant, I have this blue ribbon that also costs like nothing. And all you have to do is just kind of twirl the end. Super easy, super simple, super affordable. It's generally, I don't know. I don't know how much this ribbon actually fits the pendant when it comes to the color, but I'm just trying to show off the idea. Yeah, we have a pendant, we have it on a ribbon, and this ribbon is very long. I usually use it for my hair to like tie up my hair in a nice neat bow, but I'm gonna use this here just to show you an example. And once again, all you do, put it on, tie it behind your neck thing. There you go. I'm not gonna tie it out because I'm too lazy. You've got a choker. So I feel like all the things I've been saying up until now and that I may be saying generally are very easy and simple and affordable things that you might be even thinking this is kind of stupid. But really, it's such a lifesaver and money saver and super easy for me. The last trick that I have to share is if you're a fishnet person like me, or generally stockings in any way, shape or form, you'll have a lot of fishnets and stockings. But the sad truth of life is that stockings and fishnets rip. So what I do, okay, here I've got a pair of stockings, fishnet stockings. They have very, very wide holes. And this one's already ripping a little bit, but it's not fully ripped yet, so I'm not gonna rip it. Oh, it has some holes, okay. But that's beside the point. So what I usually do, if a fishnet like this rips, I take scissors and I cut off two things. First thing to cut off is when we have the crotch, yeah? So this is where you put on your stockings. Here is the crotch. I take my scissors and cut a hole in the crotch. As you can see here, you see? There's a hole in the crotch, right where your crotch would go. Second thing I do is I cut off the tips. So when you have the tips where you put your feet in, you just cut them off. Yep, both. Cut them off. Plop. And you've got a nice fancy shirt to put underneath things. Like underneath this dress, for instance, I could put in, I'd have a stocking shirt. It's very affordable because stocking shirts cost a fortune, at least where I live. However, fishnet shirts. However, stockings don't. So here I've got a shirt that I made years ago. This one has smaller holes, so if I put it on, let me show you guys. Yeah, you see, these are rather small, so if it's a colder day but I still want to wear something underneath, I'll put this one on. However, this one, for instance, has bigger ones. Let me show you, maybe I can even put it on. If I am able to untangle it. And honestly, for me, the more ripped it is, the better. So they don't have to be fishnet stockings for this. This is another thing that's important. If you have normal, sorry for my voice, if you've got normal stockings and they rip, so for instance, let's say they have a hole and that hole even starts ripping, I go up and rip up and make holes in the rest of the whole stocking, as many as I like, and then I've got a nice pair of ripped stockings that I can just put on and do whatever the hell I want with it. God damn, I'm trying to figure this out. And you can also make a shirt out of it if you prefer to wear those ripped stockings as a shirt. Okay, I can't untangle this shit now, but you see, these ones are bigger, so if I try to put it on, let's see, even my arm, whoa. Yeah, you see? Usually I wear it either like normal should, so it's gonna look like this, but sometimes I like to thread my fingers through the ends, and like this. Very easy, very cheap, very affordable. If it starts tearing too much, because in one of the shoulders in this, because I like to wear it a lot, there's a hole, like a huge hole, so it goes up into here. So what I did, I just took one of these things, I don't remember what they're called, and I just pinned it together. When you got, it's like I mentioned at the very beginning of the video, no one gives two flying fucks how you look like. No one does. So you do you, do whatever you like. Those are my tips and tricks, like small, very small tips and tricks, but I feel like they make life easier if you're trying to find something cool to wear, and also much more affordable, because all of the things you can buy cheaply, or you maybe have some at home already. Maybe you've got a ribbon lying somewhere, you know, and if this one for instance is too small, I can't tie it around my throat, I'll take a pin and I'll just pin it together, you know. There's a big chance you've got some sort of pendant lying around without a chain, or even with a chain, but you don't like to wear it with a chain because it just doesn't look as good. Take a ribbon, anything, tie it around your throat, perfect. So I know these are very easy, maybe logical to some people, but I find that they're a cool way of making something new in a very easy way, also very affordable. So for the end, I'll show you two skirts that I made. And yeah, so just so you can see what type of things you can make in a very easy way, because if I made it, so can you. So the first skirt, which you'll see now, the way I made it is, first I took like a rubber band and I measured it out around my waist, and then I sewed it together. Over this rubber band, I put a sheet of cloth and I just sewed the cloth over the rubber band. I'm sorry if I'm not describing this very well, but it's like I said, at this particular skirt I sewed for myself, whatever, 7 years ago, so yeah. And then I bought a long piece of spiked material and I just cut it into pieces and sewed it onto the skirt. It's as easy as that, really. It's just as easy as that. I didn't do absolutely anything else. Is it the best quality? No. Is it falling apart? After these 7 years, definitely. But I like the way it looks. I did it myself, which made it way more affordable than if I were to buy it. Also, thanks to me doing it myself, I could make it exactly the way I wanted to. The second dress, I meant skirt before that. The second skirt is a little bit tougher to make, but once again I took a bigger piece of rubber, or rather it wasn't rubber but just very stretchy material, so it's like this length, so it covers the majority of my tummy, and I did the same thing. I fitted it around my tummy and sewed it together so that it could fit, but because it's stretchy I can also put it on. And onto that I sewed fishnet material. There are 4 layers in general, and how I did is I took a string of thread. I don't have any thread right now, but I took a needle, took a thread and put it right through the fishnet, through each hole, like blip, 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 blip. I don't have any needle, but you know, I took one, wait, maybe I'll be able to show you guys. So if we have it like this, needle and fold, needle and fold, needle and fold. Get what I mean? we did that, and I folded it, and then I sewed the folded material. So this is a little bit more expensive because you need a whole lot of material for this skirt, but I folded it onto the as much as I could so that it would be wavy, and then I sewed the sword, I don't even know how English, then I put it through the material that I already had, and I sewed it onto it so it would be wavy. That's as best as I can describe how to make it, if you'd like to try at home. And I did that in 4 layers, every layer longer than the previous one, so that it would be up over my piece. And that's all I did, really. I hope these tips and tricks help you somehow. I hope you, if not help, then at least I hope you realize that you can make a lot of actually pretty cool, funny things with very inexpensive, affordable, maybe even at home materials. Maybe I'll try making more things like that in the future if you enjoy videos like this. Tell me what you think. Tell me how you are today. Do you have any cool tips and tricks for your gothic clothing that you like to do? Let me know. And I shall see you next week, hopefully. Well, I'm getting pretty consistent. This is the 3rd video in a row, so doing good. I hope to see you next time. I love you guys. Bye bye.